Oh, I'm so happy that we're having this conversation together. Hello, hello, and welcome. I've been asked some questions and I'm going to answer those questions today. If you found your way to this channel, I want you to know that I don't think that was an accident. I believe you're here because something in you is ready. You're ready to go a little bit deeper. You're ready to ask bigger questions. You're ready to discover more of who you really are. My name is Gretchen, also known as Gigi, your heart-centered guide in practical Christianity. And this is Three Trees Serenity Space, LLC. I've often been asked about the name Three Trees, and I want to tell you what that name means because it's not just a name, it's a philosophy. It is the foundation of everything I do here. So the number three represents supreme balance. Think about it. The healthiest foods in nature have three layers: skin, flesh, and seed. There are three times of day: morning, noon, and night. There are three stages of human development: childhood, adolescence, and adulthood. Three is the number of wholeness. It's harmony, the number of things working together the way they were designed to. Additionally, research shows that trees really do have healing powers. Do you remember back in the day when folk we call hippies used to talk about hugging trees? Well, let me tell you something. Trees release antimicrobial essential oils called photosides. And those oils protect trees from germs, and they have a host of health benefits for people too. Those oils are known to boost mood um, and our immune system, reduce blood pressure, heart rate, stress, and anxiety and confusion, even improve sleep, and may even help fight cancer and depression. And trees are one of nature's most perfect visual examples of balance. A tree grows in two directions at the same time. The root system beneath the ground mirrors the branch system above the ground. It's almost exact. As above, so below. That's perfect balance, perfect design. That is what this space is built on. The belief that when we are spiritually rooted, when we go deep enough into truth, into God, that's God known by many names, into who we really are, we grow naturally, beautifully in both directions at once. So now story time. All right, get comfortable. Let me tell you a little bit about my journey because it might sound a little familiar to some of you. I was raised in the AME Church, the African Methodist Episcopal Church in Wichita Falls, Texas, in the Kemp edition to be exact. I grew up surrounded by faith. My grandmother, who my brother and I call Big Mama, um, we were brought up in that household. I loved God. I was taught about God. I was taken to church every Sunday. I believed. And yet, if I'm completely honest, y'all listen to me now. I did not truly know who I was, not in the deepest sense, at the deepest level. It wasn't until my dear sweet husband Eddie passed that everything changed for me. After Eddie transitioned, I found myself alone for the first time in my life. I was in my 50s and I had never lived alone. I have two adult sons, both married, both living their own beautiful lives, And suddenly I was in a quiet house with nothing but time and my own reflection staring back at me. In that quietness, oh God, it was only grief, I know, but something happened. I had a spiritual experience that, well, I'll have to go into the details of that at a later time, but just know it was a spiritual experience that helped me to know that there's so much more. There's so much more that our five senses cannot explain. It invited me into a deeper level of spirituality, deeper than I had ever gone. My husband and I had already rather, um, begun attending a church with a more metaphysical approach to spirituality. And after he passed, I leaned into that teaching fully. I began to study more, pray differently, ask questions I had never felt free to ask before. And slowly I began to discover a greater part of who I really am, a part that had always been there, just waiting for me to discover it and get quiet enough to hear. That's the reason I am a proponent of meditation. We must sit in quiet to hear the still small voice of the Creator. That discovery changed everything, and I knew I was spiritually led to share it. So I did. I did something that I'd never done before, and that's created a YouTube channel. I knew nothing about social media. Not really. I didn't even want to during that time. But that didn't stop me. I just showed up and I did it anyway. And my friend and client, Danielle, she helped me create this YouTube channel. Shout out to you, Danielle. Thank you. Um, my minister, Reverend Linda, kind of sort of encouraged me too after I told her about that spiritual experience I had. I'm really going to share that in depth in another video. But essentially, I knew what was given to me was not meant to keep to myself, so I showed up. And Three Trees Serenity Space LLC was born. And that was nearly 4 years ago. Every Wednesday morning at 6 o'clock, I go live right here to share spiritual messages, affirmative prayer, and guided meditation because I believe that how you begin your day matters, truly matters. It's the most beautiful way to start your day. And I believe that we all deserve a space, a serenity space that's ours, that asks nothing of us except that we show up with an open heart. All right, now listen in. Lean in and listen closely. I've spent my life in pursuit of one thing: truth. Truth about God, remember God by many names, known by many names, about God, about healing, about a deeper understanding what it means to live with kindness, compassion, and humility. Everything I've learned along the way has shaped me and in such a way that I can offer you, not as theory, but in lived, usable wisdom. I can offer you something. That is what I do here. That is what we do here together. This channel is for us. It's for you, especially if you're a woman who has walked through enough life to know that Surface answers are no longer enough. And if you are ready for something deeper, something real, something that actually works on a Monday morning, as well as a Friday evening when life gets hard, you're in the right place. As someone who owned and managed salons and spas, I discovered my passion and my purpose on this planet is to serve women like you. So here's my promise to you. I will always show up with honesty, and you can count on me for that. I will always meet you where you are. I will never ask you to abandon what you believe. I will simply invite you to go deeper into it because that is what Three Trees is all about. It's not a religion, it's not a doctrine, it's a special place, it's a special space. It's a serenity space where truth is welcome and questions are honored, and where you're free to grow in both directions at once. So, if this feels like home, subscribe. Join me every Wednesday morning at 6 a.m. Central Time. Leave me a comment and tell me you were here, because this community grows every time one more person decides they are ready for more freedom of mind, peace, and serenity. I'm sending you love and light, beloved. Bye for now. Remember to pray and meditate before you go out to meet the world.